All right, folks, welcome on back. I'll tell you, 2:30 short hit fast here this afternoon. Great to see all of our students and members alike inside Cyber Group. Leda, great to see you as always. Kathleen as well. We have Kiwi joining us, Bill, Mark, Brian, John, and all of us otherwise live inside the Cyber Group room. Great to see all of you folks there. Great to see all of us on social media, Facebook Live or YouTube joining us this afternoon. So, folks, we have a couple of housekeeping notes to begin. First and foremost, just at the very end of this day, right at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, I know that Fausto is doing an introductory to day trading webinar. So we'll post the link for that inside the live trading room. And I'll tell you what, if you're on social media right now, Facebook Live or YouTube, just go right down to the link on the stream on the scrolling banner below to register for that webinar coming up at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. If you register and can't attend live, that way at least you could at least have the recording emailed out to you so long as you register. So, folks, right now we have the NEO trade on the screen. Not NEO, top percent loser. NEO down 27.5%. NEO and IO up 3%, a stock that we're really familiar with here inside the Cyber Group room. So, I was just watching this before. I was watching it all throughout the day. It was a great short upon the market opening up here so far, where it ended up holding resistance pretty nicely in a little volatile stock, but it held resistance pretty nicely off the 21.60 price. From there, ended up dropping off, but for as much buying as we had on this trade yesterday from specifically $21, we had so much buying off the 21, especially heading into the final hour of the day. Well, resistance became support. So with that, it's had a nice little bounce back up throughout the afternoon, and it's pretty close to the highs. So right away, like I'm a fan of this stock. I want to see if there's anything looking even sharper on the way up, like already breaking a new high, or looking even cleaner in terms of a direction. A little choppy right now. I'll come back to NEO at least at the very end of this meeting. If we don't have a big list, I would have no problem. It would be great to have this on our watch list. But let's see if there's anything looking even better. What we'll do is go right from top to bottom. And actually, as I say that, let me just address the second piece of housekeeping I wanted to mention to you folks here. And I'll reiterate this at the very end of this meeting. But actually, beginning this week, I'm going to try my best to do it on a Tuesday, Thursday schedule for any of my crypto Bitcoiners out there. Actually, what we'll be doing is on Tuesdays and Thursdays, a live stream beginning from 6 p.m. Eastern time, beginning right at 6 o'clock Eastern, really just showing the Bitcoin chart and just doing a little chat with you folks. That'll be on YouTube. That'll be right on our YouTube stream. So again, I'll reiterate that at the very end of this meeting, but that's something that we're going to be trying to do going forward. So, this afternoon we'll set that up at 6 p.m. Eastern. Now, getting to the top of the gainers list here, the IGMS to begin. Man, this thing ended up popping out of nowhere, right? Had a bunch of activity in pre-market, but when the market opened up, it was flat. It was like dead little pop and drop, and normally you'd anticipate further drop off. Well, it ended up holding off support at 20, and from there continued to completely go the other way and broke out upward. My assumption is that this stock broke all-time highs today. Ooh, that's a bad assumption. How about that? Looks like this was a new IPO actually back from 2019, the end of 2019, but sheesh, this thing was pretty expensive at one point heading into the beginning of last year. $120+ stock, and dropped all the way down sub 20. Actually, up until this month was breaking all-time lows. So pretty interesting there. I mean, for right now, at least heading into the afternoon, you see the lower highs building, unless if it ends up holding support literally right now and beginning that big squeeze, that slingshot that you would want. I feel like this already made as good of a move as we can catch from 20 to what, 36 damn near. So, I'll pass on this for right now. I'd rather focus on something that's, even like a NEO, I'd rather focus on NIO at least. CLVR, looking like NEO, near the highs, a little choppy right now, at least actually. You know what? We did pretty well on this stock from earlier today, as well as from earlier this, or from the end of last week, I should rather say. Back from Friday, the end of last week, this stock took off for us from 2 upwards to 4. At that midway point now, at 3. So right now, you definitely want to see this begin to squeeze up higher sooner than later. It wouldn't hurt us to put this one in particular on the main list. And for right now, I'll kind of do that. I would add NEO to our watch list at the end too, just as we continue to go through. I want to see if there's anything looking even better than this, though. Breaking a new high right in our face as we speak. Uh, MVIS was that type of stock earlier going into the late morning, but man, ended up topping off around that 580, 585 price and really dragged back down. Now it's just flat. So pass on this. I got the FOS stock, PHAS, phase, FOS, whatever you want to nickname it here. A little spotty of a chart, albeit it's trying to eke back up from the 140. Hood, Robin Hood. So looks really flat right now, but it's still pretty close to the highs. A lot closer to the highs than well, where it started from today. Fausto was all over this one early on once the market opened up. I know that he was trading AMC, and from there, he jumped right into Robinhood, ended up squeezing it up from the 14 level at the time. Whew, nice run up towards 16 and change. Again, it's still pretty close to the highs, so I'll come back to this at the end. I'm not going to put this on the main list yet, but I'll come back to it like I said I would with Neo. All right, I'm going to only click on this for one reason and one reason only. For all of our students inside Cyber Group, what's the news on NLSN here? I'm not going to look it up. I don't need to look it up. You'll tell me. What's the news on this stock? Why is this so utterly flat for up 21.4%? Tis a buyout. It is a buyout. And once buyouts become official, the stock pretty much trades around the price that they, make the transaction official at. So, listen, for a $26, $27 stock, you're not going to get much of a move. If you're looking at this trade here, is it possible to pick up 30 cents? Yes, it is possible. If you jumped in at 11:30 in the morning or prior to, I mean, I don't know. You tell me, you'll be waiting about 3 hours to make 30 cents. So, in terms of opportunity cost, buyouts just they're not worth it. So we'll pass on this obviously for now. The DNA trade. Yeah, it was grinding on up at least prior to 2 p.m. Just flat, even more flat now than what it kind of was before. HYMC, this one still has a little life to it, trading a lot of volume per minute right now, making higher lows, trying to make that big higher high off like 285, it seems like. Doesn't hurt us to put this on our main list. I'll kind of slip this at the end with the others, like the Neo and the Hood. Put this on the side list right now for otherwise. If you notice what I'm doing, folks, I'm being very picky with what I'm actually going to put on the main special watch list here for this close. JOBY, it's right there at the highs. It's trading about 14, 15,000 shares per minute. I hope that this becomes a faster paced trade for us here, because if it's just like this, it's not going to give us much over the next hour and 20 minutes. But this one looks all right. I'll put this on the main list for right now, the Jobby trade. Just going down the gainer side, kind of skimming through some familiar names here. Now, on the flip side, you look at Dave and Buster's play. It's at the highs, right? But it's trading much less volume per minute. It's also a $50 stock. So again, opportunity cost. I don't want to trade the craziest like freak stock of all time, but I don't want to like watch the grass grow here on play. It's had a nice day, great swing trade perhaps. All right, this looks a little bit more up our alley. Space, Virgin Galactic. We've been trading this stock really for last several years, and just off of news or any sort of short squeeze type of an event, this stock has made some really big runs for us in the past. You know what? Now is the time. I'll at least check the news out right now. I always like to say, the news doesn't lead me to buy or sell a stock, but you know what? This is actually my first look on space today. Haven't seen space until right now, so I'm just curious. And I'll tell you, there's no main special headline out there from Benzinga Pro on the space trade. All right, well, if the shorts are just naturally covering, doesn't need to be news. But I'll tell you, this looks all right. Looks good. Space. Looks like you got resistance, if not at the 14 price here, more so at 1125. 1125, about a 56,000 share iceberg. All right, I think that just about wraps it up on the gainer side, folks. Market is, up a little bit still. There's definitely a lot more stocks that are up that famed 5% that I asked for. Ride being one of them here lastly, before we hop on over to the losers list. This thing, like flat city, not really much going on. All right, so we had Neo to begin. It's still on our side list. I'm not really fully committed to the stock just yet, but this is the one that we started off with. Well, we have Neo, but then we have Neo and EO. So one of our students called this out earlier. I thought he made a typo on it. I thought he meant NIO. And I take a look at this thing. At the time that he had called it out, it was after 10 o'clock. So this one totally flew under the radar as far as a short opportunity this morning for us. But, hey, our hands were full on the Robinhood trade. Our hands were full on AMC, GFAI, HYMC, et cetera, et cetera. Can't catch them all, folks. Led to a nice drop, led to an even better bounce from there, from like 11 flat. Right now, it's tradable, but I don't have a great need to put this on our watch list. I would much rather prefer this stock to be near or at the lows. The fact it's at the highs here, perhaps there's a chance it could try and make another dead cat bounce with it still being down over 27%. But I don't know, not really feeling it there. All right, let's see what else we got here. Otherwise, on the loser side here, Tell. I know that Norman was following Tell earlier today as a short. Seemed like he did pretty well on it from pre-market into the open as it dropped all the way down towards under 450. Again, same to be said here as I said on like that other one, Neo. Actually, I'd prefer Neo over this, but either way, both, not too particular about. Tell is a good sideless stock. Just keep it on your radar every now and then. More of a level 2 stock in terms of liquidity and volume. Meaning that's good for most of us, pretty much. All right, I'll need your help here, folks. If there's any other stocks up, down, left, right, more than that 5%, type it in the chat board. Let me know here quick. Brian says DraftKings, DKNG, which I know he's been all about today, and with good reason, right? I mean, alongside the Hood trade, I know that DraftKings made a nice squeeze. I'm sure that you can kind of tag those two in particular with, AMC and GameStop and Bed Bath Beyond, Bobby J, just as far as like, a meme stock, right? So with that, DraftKings here, it's up, near 11%. It's at the highs. Love that part. It's so flat right now, Brian. So, hey, if we have a bunch of stocks that look like this, where it's like right at the highs, but it's like really flat, I got to put all of them on the watch list then, right? So, I got to be a little picky and choosy now at this point. It's not a bad stock to watch. I mean, if it gives us that extra kick, then, hey, you'll be the first to call it out, I'd imagine. I know you've been all over that trade today, Brian. Let's just wrap it up here. Any other sideless stocks, like even Hood? Hood, not committed to it just yet. It's flat. DraftKings looks better than this. HYMC. HYMC has some kick to it here. I like the move up across the afternoon, beginning from 2 p.m. Eastern time. So if it fails from here, that would be disappointing. But right now, at least it's active enough for me to be pretty interested in this still. I feel like we can get a test up to 3. DLO worth watching, asks Leda. It's up 8%. It's got a paper thin order book though, so it's like more of a gamble stock to me than like a stock we could use to find iceberg orders on. That's all right. Got to find a nice happy medium between liquidity and a stock making a nice pop like this. This is at least making a nice pop. PLTR high of the day, but again kind of flat. This one's actually making a nice move though, Brian. I mean, over the last 10 minutes, near 15 minutes, it's been eking up. It's, moving up steadily. Looks better than, the others so far. It's up over 5%. All right. I'll put a focus on Palantir here for right now. Listen, AMC, I feel like personally, between you and me, is always in play. However, though, not everyone should be trading AMC. If you kill it on AMC on a day-to-day basis, or, on a week-to-week basis, you know who you are already. That goes right on your personal watch list. But I'd rather focus on stocks that are closer to the highs, at the lows. So John here typing in the STNE trade. Hey, it's up 6+%. It's trying to make a push right now. Actually, since prior to 2 o'clock, it made a nice push. A little shake here, but looking a little bit more active here. STNE, not bad. I'll put this on our main list. Looks good for right now. Go back to DraftKings. DraftKings is trying, Brian. It's trying. We don't have too big of a list, Brian. I think you're selling me, Brian, on putting DraftKings on our watch list for right now. All right, I'll do that. Looks all right for right now. All right, folks, to wrap it up, I'll repeat what I had mentioned at the top of this meeting. A couple of housekeeping notes for anyone just joining us late. I know that Fausto is presenting at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, an introductory to day trading webinar as we typically do here on Tuesdays. Just make sure that you click on the link down below if you're on social media today, Facebook Live, YouTube. Even if you can't attend the thing live, you could at least get the recording sent out to you so long as you register. For all of our students here, I know that Rich will post that link for you just at the tail end of the day. We're going to keep the audio going inside our live trading room at least until the market closes. Mark here inside the Cyber Group room asking about MVIS and George seconding that question. Yeah, I mean, since I've been flapping my gums here a little bit, it's been trying to push up off the 545, 550. It's trying. Looks all right for right now. Doesn't hurt us to put this on our watch list. It's not too volatile. It's right up our alley. All right, I'll give Mavis the look here. We'll put it on our list. Not bad for right now. Definitely want to see this continue, though. Every second a minute counts, folks. For every second a minute this stock is flat, not doing anything, you're missing opportunity. So sooner is better than later. Remember that. All right, but otherwise, though, for all of us on social media, for all of us that live inside the Cyber Group room, again, to reiterate, for any of our crypto traders out there, Bitcoin traders out there like myself, going forward, we're going to try and do a Tuesday and Thursday live stream of the Bitcoin chart. We're going to just mess around with the chart. I'll show you my level 4 for Bitcoin and crypto. It's called Trading Light, but I'll show you the heat map from 6 o'clock Eastern time later on this afternoon, later on this evening. So if you're free, if you wanted to join, just make sure that you click the subscribe button right on our YouTube channel if you're not already subscribed. That way you can get the notifications for when I go live myself. We'll have a nice chat, talk about the volume and order flow on Bitcoin heading into the evening. All right, folks, but otherwise, for all of us, we're going to post and tweet the pics for all of us on social media. Otherwise, if you have any other questions, thoughts, comments, suggestions, feel more than free to shoot it on over to josh@ctutrading.com. That's my email address. I always post here at the end of these streams. But otherwise, folks, I look forward to talking to all of us live inside the Cyber Group room right at 3:30 Eastern time. You'll have Rich up until 3:30. I'll be back on right then. Talk to you soon.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it.